This is Ashli Babbit, the 35-year-old woman who was shot and killed by Capitol Police yesterday when protesters became violent and broke into the Capitol building of the United States. Ashli is a patriot, a Trump supporter, and a 14-year Air Force veteran. This is not some woman that they just scooped up off of the street and decided to go crazy because the Capitol building had been pushed into. This was not some lunatic that just showed up because they wanted to cause problems. This is an American citizen who had served her country. She was someone's wife who was sick and tired of not being listened to. It is a tragic loss to America that a martyr and a hero like this got taken down because somebody wanted to make a point. Everyone wants to call it senseless, wants to say that it was so terrible and it was such a shame and a disgrace. I am so disappointed with all of our conservative commentators trying to play it safe and condemn what happened. You've got to understand, you can only put the boil onto a pot so long before it starts to bubble over. You can't keep pushing people down and expect them not to start pushing back. The people who gathered around the George Floyd incident, the Breonna Taylor incident, and all the rest were deemed as people standing up for their rights, people insurrecting against a system that was pulling them down. What do you think it is when we get evidence after evidence after evidence that our votes, our freedom, our liberty is being torn down, and we get ignored? At the beginning of it, they say, you don't have proof that it's happened yet, and it's not affected anything yet. Just be quiet. And then during it, they said, you don't have proof, it's not enough time yet. And then afterwards, they said, well, it's just too late. When the evidence came before the Supreme Court had decided that if they had heard the case, they would have to rule in favor of the plaintiffs. That's us. And decided that it was too risky for them to do it. Their lives, their livelihoods, their comfort was too much at risk to stand up for the liberty they were hired to stand up for. We went through every legal course to have our voices denied and ignored, and we're expected just to sit back. Anyone else on the left, anyone else in the liberal agenda who decided they have a grievance, they need to be heard. They have an equal right to have their voice heard. But when we had a grievance, they told us to shut up because we were getting in the way of progress. We were getting in the way of the America that they wanted to build. They pushed us out. They locked electors out of the Capitol. They locked people out. They locked our Republican vote counters out. And all of a sudden, everyone wants to act like we're crazy. When we finally get mad enough to push back, we do just a little bit of damage. We make them uncomfortable, and we are monsters. Well, I'll tell you what, the monsters woke up. Liberty, when it is challenged, is met by men and women who are not afraid to hold on to the values that they voted in, that they signed up for, that they've supported. When England decided they were going to keep their hand on our throats and strangle us, we pushed back. When the other countries decided they were going to try to take our power and our freedom away, we pushed back. I am so sorry, I really am, that this enemy comes from within. And it is American fighting American. But your only other option is to lay down and take it. They called for justice for those other people that police and security killed. I call for justice for Ashli Babbit, a woman who was tired of being pushed down and ignored, took a stand. Did it go too far? I'm sure. We'll go ahead and say that. It went too far. Did she need to get shot? Did she need to die bloody in the Capitol building? I hope it took them hours to get the blood off that floor. And it's going to take a lot longer to get it off their hands. Justice for Ashli Babbit, and we will not be quiet. I went to church tonight. I'm going to pray for this country. Pray with me.